Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, we always talk about isolation and discarding old situations and letting go of relationships and people and things that can't come along with us on this journey. I wanted to briefly explain why. It's kind of like that old scenario when you put your hand on the oven and you burn it and you're like, that hurts. And you felt the heat, but not only did you feel the heat, now you feel the pain. And then you have to feel the healing of the pain. And then when you go through that whole process and you're healed, you forget all about it and go back to your regular life. We have to understand that we don't want to repeat that cycle. We don't want to heal and then go back and do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. The spiritual journey is about waking up and recognizing I already did that before. I've already completed that cycle. I've already learned that lesson. I've done all of that. I don't need to do it again. Now what? The spiritual journey is about breaking off from the collective, which you're still a part of physically, but emotionally and spiritually, you are no longer identifying as an energy that has been given to you, okay? All energy is assigned something when it first is born. And then when it starts to grow and expand and mutate and break off and transmute and all these other things, it becomes its own identity, right? And then it has to be classified as a type of species. And then it has to be classified as a type of this and of that. And then the more it goes out further and it learns itself and expands itself, it becomes its own true identity. This is why we have to learn how to walk away from things that have been structured for us. There is nothing that you have to give up physically. It is an emotional, spiritual connection of recognizing that me, the flesh, I will pass someday. So I have to know how to keep continuing to live this life and go through these emotions without throwing it all away because I am not aligned with my truest self, or I'm masking for others, or I'm living in a life where I always talk about social decorum. Again, I have nothing against people being polite, but I do have something against people pretending to be polite to then go create another subculture of what we call haters. People think it's fun and they think it's cute, but all they're doing is stopping their own cycle, and then they're going to go live in another parasite's energy. Because remember, even if you like pettiness, it is a level of parasitic energy that has to live off the other to say, yeah, keep doing it, something that has to egg it on. And if it's not you, the physical flesh, and if it's not you, your spiritual mind, then who is it? It's a parasite. It's an entity that does not belong to you. So you have to recognize that sometimes when you're a part of this cesspool, you feel like that's who you are. But when you step out and dry off and you go look back and say, oh, that water was murky, that water was dirty, ooh, it had it all in my mouth. You start reprioritizing your life and you start picking new paths that lead you to what makes you happy. So yes, you will feel alone and you may be alone, but you're never really alone if you understand that you can always go back to the collective. Just don't get triggered. We'll always get triggered, but don't get triggered if you know that you understand that it's not your whole identity. You only get triggered when you think that's all you have. That's all I'm saying. All right, love you guys. Mwah.